Hey guys, welcome back. So a while back, we looked at our firewall and we wanted to fill all these holes in, and it's going to take forever to cut all these little pieces of metal. So what we did was we took measurements, created models, and ordered them. And you can see these little numbers are everywhere. There's one. Anyway, so check this out. So there's this website. I saw this on a YouTube channel called Send Cut Send. Y'all should sponsor me. But I saw this in action and I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. You can basically just send them files and they laser cut or water jet or whatever, the parts you need. So that's what we did. And I actually have 3 pages worth. That's the second page. Here's the third page. I had to refilm this because I about doxed myself. But anyway, we can see here about 206. So, or no, 190. Yeah, I found a discount code. So, $190. And I got these 2 pieces of metal here. So these 2, they're just taped together, but there's actually 2 pieces there. And check this out. This is the other one they sent me. It's all neatly organized and shrinked onto a thing with clear plastic. So this is all, that is so cool. Man, I love that. So this is all the different pieces we ordered. So let me show you guys. I know some of these, I know what they are. So these big ones are seat brackets, and I think these are seat brackets. Yeah, I think those are too. So that's how this started. I'll show you real quick. Hopefully I'll show you. Hopefully I didn't lose these. Yeah, here they are. So these are actually for the harnesses. When I bought a hardware kit, it comes with like bolts, nuts, washers, and I think it came with these tabs. This is for hooking the harnesses up. So you basically like weld this to your car, and then you can use these bolts and it hooks to the harness. And you know, for those of you who haven't, I've never done this either. So basically the harness has something like this, big piece of steel. You weld your tab, put a bolt through it, boom, easy stuff. And I might actually use these, but I was looking at it and I was like, hey, I might could use this for my seat. And but they were too short. I couldn't quite make that work. So then I said, well, I'll just make something similar to that. I've got, you know, all the tools to do it, but it'll take a long time. So that's what got me thinking, like, hey, maybe I'll just pay somebody to cut these for me. But the question was cost and lead time. So these only cost, let me see, yeah, these are itemized. Okay. I didn't even notice that. 1.75. This is the taller one. So look at this. $4.71 a piece. And the shorter ones are $4.05 a piece. I mean, that is so cheap. And these people have free shipping too. Check that out. Free 50. So, you know, basically 18 and 16, you know, $34 roughly. And I got all those brackets cut and shipped. Now granted, I think it took about 2 weeks to get these. From the time I placed the order, I'd have to look. It's approximately 2 weeks. But you know, half of that was probably shipping or something, sort of. So anyway, good situation. I got all this stuff, and I haven't like checked dimensions of anything yet, but it looks nice. Yeah, I gotta actually take these apart and see how I can feel a little something there, right where they started and stopped the cut. So it's probably not perfect, you know, but it's not bad. This actually looks better, just preliminary. It looks better than the ones that came with my seat brackets. And the cool thing is all these individual things. Like, look, I got these, like, see the size of my finger? There was a limit. Like, I got these. This is about the smallest they could do. I tried to do some, like, 1/4-inch holes, and they wouldn't do it. So there is a limit. But you can see, like, you know, they made a lot of little pieces for me. I got all this metal, and it shipped, and it was under $200 for all of this. That is so cool. And then you see this big piece. Hopefully there's a couple of those. Yep. These 2 are going to be the, well, if it works out, they're going to be like the inner wheel wells. Hard to imagine, but where you see that curve there, kind of be sitting right there. Build the inner wheel wells out of those, and then this will be the top piece that curves over it. And this metal is so thin, like they're taped together and it's bending. When you untape these, it's going to bend even easier. So that's why, anyway, thin for lightweight and for ease of bending, although difficult to weld. But yeah, this is so cool. I got to unpackage all of this and kind of check them out. But it's looking nice, and I'm definitely going to be using these guys again. And I'm actually going to make a point that when I get into the stages of fabrication, instead of like freehand designing and building stuff, try to take some measurements, go design it in CAD, and then export the files, and then you import the files to the website. They give you quotes, and then you can pretty much click a few buttons to tell it, make this out of steel, make it this thick. You know, there's some other options for like, hey, do you want threads here? Stuff like that, which I didn't do any of that, but so it does remind me. Oh yeah, I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, you do all that and click a few buttons, pay with a card or whatever, and boom, parts show up. So assuming this is all built to spec and I measured it correctly, then we just saved ourselves a bunch of time. And it only cost us 190 bucks. So that's actually totally worth it, because if I was going to build this myself, you got to go buy some 1/4-inch steel. A bunch of this is like 060. Those sheets are 030. And you can buy these sheets. These are actually not expensive to purchase. What kills you is the shipping. So like this piece of metal, they don't sell it cut to that size. You have to buy like a 3 foot by 3 foot, or 4 foot by 3 foot, or 4 foot by 4 foot. Because this piece is kind of big, so you have to have, you know, a big enough piece of metal to cut it out of. But when you try to ship a piece of metal that big, man, the shipping is rough. So it really jacks the cost up. And these guys had free shipping, so I mean, I don't know how much money they made making all this for me. I hope they made some, but you know, it's pretty awesome. So you guys will definitely be seeing more of this. And the cool thing is, you have to pay for the service, but you're going to save time by not having to individually, like, can you imagine how long it would take to make these little pieces of metal? Especially to make them halfway as accurate as that. You know, I mean, that shit would take a while. So it speeds you up on your, you know, you have to take all the measurements and whatnot, but you're actually, when you have the metal in your hands, it'll go a lot quicker. You don't have to build all this stuff. And the quality, I mean, if I was cutting circles, they would never be this well done, this well executed. I mean, I don't know how good this shows up on camera. This shit looks awesome. It looks like they did everything pretty clean. It's laser, not water jet, but it doesn't matter for what I'm doing. At least the heavy stuff's laser. So anyway, overall, super happy about this. You guys will be seeing more of this coming up. And until next time, y'all take it easy. Oh snap! Check this out. Man, this thing turned out awesome. We kind of nailed it. Let's see how good I can film this. But there's the fitment on that side. Let's try to get the camera up here. Oh, there it goes. Look at that. Nailed it. So that little crazy measurement thing we did worked out. Also, it fits, and it seems to fit just like the other side, or really close. There's our floor. Here's that. We got our spacer. As you see, we can back up. Bars are tucked well above the roof. Only this little corner right here. Can you see it? As you come into the door, you see that tube shoots up quite a bit, just like it does on that side. Man, it worked. I'm pretty happy. Oh, I know it's supposed to, but that's awesome. Yeah, kind of don't know what to say. Very happy, man. When you're doing all those cuts and checking your angles and trying to do, you know, you get like one shot. So it's like, you got to get it right or you're scrapping it. You know, you can't, unfortunately, you can't just like weld another piece on and try to fix it. Yeah, let's look at it from this side. Yeah, so there's the seat. There's a notch above about where your helmet's going to be. It's pretty much the highest spot of the cage for that tube. She angles down. Look at that following the pillar. Zoom in a little bit. I mean, look at that. That is awesome. And then boom, down to the floor. So, badass. Man, I'm just glad we got that tube to butt up like we were shooting for. That was kind of worried about that. So, yay! We're going to think about this for a minute, what to do next, because I was afraid the next move was going to be to figure out what I did wrong and remake this tube, but we actually got it. So, super happy. Man, look at this. I mean, I think one of the things I might do next is pull the top off and just see how it looks, but, you know, man, got a cage coming together. So, hell yeah. Anyway, get done celebrating and get back to work. I'll bring y'all some more progress.